In today's video, I'm going to be installing a cargo net in the trunk area of the Fisker Ocean. Let's open it up now and take a look. All right, here is the bag. And let me take everything out. Inside this bag, we have a number of different items. We have clips, and we also have these two clips will be installed on both sides of the liftgate area, and I'll show you how that works in just a minute. We just need two of these. We're not going to be using the screws that come with this kit. I bought separate screws, washers and nuts to be used. I think it's a better solution than this. And we also have two of these clips that will attach to the net, and they will connect to the existing latches on the lower sides of the liftgate area. Now let's take a look at the netting. And what we're going to do is this will attach on the top and this will attach on the bottom. And we're going to put them basically in this area right here. We want to make sure that we give a little bit of extra space, about 2 inches, so that the liftgate can close and won't interfere with the netting. And I'll be measuring that and showing you how that works. For the lower loop and the clip, I'm going to pass it through the opening here. And then over the edge and then back through so that this is on tight. And I'll do this for the other side too. Now we have both of the hooks installed. For the next part of the video, I'm going to use two of these screws, Phillips head, and they are a 1024 by 3/4 inch. Next, I have two washers and two nuts, and these match those screws. And finally, I have the two clips that we're going to be using on the top area of the liftgate. So what we're going to be doing is putting the screw in here. And then on the other side, we're going to put a washer and this nut. And this will keep it in place on the side of the car. I'll show you how that works. Here are the tools and items that I used today on this project. I used a ruler for measuring out where I needed to put the clips. I also used a drill to drill the holes for the two top clips. I used a 3/32 drill bit to do the pilot hole, and then I enlarged it so that the screw would fit in by using the larger 3/16 inch bit. And finally, a Phillips head screwdriver that I used to attach the screw to the nut. And this is where it's going to go. It's going to go right about here, which is about 2 inches from the edge. And you want this in a little bit since this is putting pressure on this trim panel. If it's too close to the edge, it may pull the trim panel out. But if it's in a ways like right under here, you should be good. And for the next part, I'm going to need to drill a hole in here. And I'm going to make sure that both sides are matching in their location the height and also the width from the edge. So we are going to put this hook roughly in this area here. It's going to be 2 inches from the edge and about an inch or so from the top, because behind here is a solid piece and this is hollow back here. So I don't want to drill into anything that's solid. I want to drill into this area here so I get a good attachment on the other side, so I can put the washers and the nuts on the other side. And this has double-sided tape on it, so if I did want to, I could take this off and place it roughly around this area here. And I am going to measure it. What I'm going to do now is pull this back, the trim panel, and you can see if you loosen this up, you can get a good grip on it and pull it out a little bit. So I can get my finger behind here. And yes, right, basically where my finger is, right around here is where the solid area is, and right below that is open. So I'm going to do roughly about here. So the next part, I'm going to drill a hole through here that's smaller than the screw that's going to be going in. So let me get that started. Here's a test fit. You can see that I have, this is just stuck on here with double-sided tape. And you can see that the lower attachment is right there. Goes all the way across. Here's the other side and the lower attachment. If you have the lower floor area lifted up, this will go down a little bit further. This looks like a usable width for inserting stuff inside the cargo net. So I think at this point it looks good enough that I'm going to drill these in. Let's get started with that. And now I'm going to be using a drill bit with a slightly smaller diameter than the screw. The initial drill hole I did is now done, and you can see it is right there. So now I can use the drill with a slightly larger bit that fits the screw and then go into the hole that I just made. So let me do that now. Take the clip and then insert the screw and then place that into the hole like so. I may need to screw it in now. Now I put the washer behind here and then the nut over that. Just be very careful not to drop it. I'm going to pull this out a little bit more so I can get access. Here's a side view that I pulled out, and you can see the washer over the screw. All right, now I'm going to carefully put the nut over the screw and then use a screwdriver to attach it, and eventually it's going to get tightened. And there we go. This is fully attached now. It won't fall off. Make sure you put everything back into place. Make sure the rubber weather stripping goes around the trim. And there we go. Then we can put the cargo net over it. And it is nice. Nice and secure. Let me do the other side now. And just like the other side, I made sure I placed this in the same location. It's about 1.25 inches from the top plastic trim and about 2¼ inches from the weather seal right here. You can measure also from the bottom of the cargo floor, and it's just under 15 inches to the top of this. And now let me drill the pilot hole for this one. And now the larger hole for the screw. Place the screw in here. You may need to get it started with the screwdriver. Nice. And I'm going to pull the trim panel out a bit and then carefully get the washer onto the end of the screw. Got to do this very carefully. There we go. Gonna pull this a little bit more. Right now for the tough part, getting the nut on the end without it falling off. Oh yeah, I got it. Got to do that very carefully. Hold the end of the nut while you're turning the screw. And that's it. It is fully tightened. Now carefully push the trim panel back into place. And move the weather sealing out and around. And there we go. Now we can take the loop end of the cargo net and place it over. And it is now secure. Now you can see that both of the upper attachments are installed, and now we just need to connect these clips to the bottom. And right here is the latch. This pops out. This is standard on the car. And then you just take this clip, you take the hook now and insert that. And likewise with the other side, pull this down and clip it on. All right, we have a final view now of the cargo net fully installed with the upper and lower attachment points. And you can see here that you can insert things into the cargo net and it'll stay right here. Another thing you could do is you could open up the latch here, and then if you have more room underneath, this will hang down. And you get full use of the entire height of the cargo net. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. I think this is a great addition to the cargo area of the Fisker Ocean. I have the links for all the items that I used in this video in the video description. And this is very inexpensive. These are on Amazon for roughly $10 to $15. And I only spent a whopping $2 on the screws washers and nuts. If you did like this video, please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. And on that note, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.